Okay, so this is how you do ozonated saline. You have to have an ozone generator. You can see over there. Ozonate your saline at 1/8, 15 minutes. Teaspoon of sea salt in a quart glass jar. Don't worry, I won't be around long. 60 cc syringe. Urlach Terumo. Put some alcohol on your hands. Let's be sanitary. Then you gotta have one of these, which my dumb ass got in Arizona, the place I never should have left. Gotta have one of these. You gotta have already put the needle in. That was a previous video. This is an extension. Got your syringe pump, not for use on humans. So what we're going to do is we ozonate the saline for 15 minutes. Then you can't see it, but there's a port down here. Put the extension up to the syringe. Let me tell you my story while we're waiting for the water to ozonate. My name is Colin Smythe. I was born September 10th, 1976. I guess we'll skip to the facts, but due to me being such a loner, antisocial, and fearmonger, selfish, whatever, disrespectful of my mother, not respectful of her wishes, never listened to her. I was bit by a tick in April of 2011. Playing in the tall grass with my dog, it jumped onto my chest. A few days later I was taking a shower and I felt something there, but thought it was just a bump, cut or something. A day later I was at my mom's and I finally felt it, pulled it off. It gorged a lot of blood, hurt. I went in the bathroom and didn't think much of it. Even though my mom mentioned going to get it checked out. Something about Lyme disease. Lyme disease. Lyme. It sounds so harmless. Like a lemon and a lime. We have a Lyme disease. You have just a little flavor disease. Anyways, didn't get it checked out. too afraid to go to the doctor, whatever. A couple months later, started getting indigestion and got around to getting the tick bite examined and tested. Tested positive. Doctor gave me doxycycline. That's it. No information. I assumed that would cure it. Indigestion came back. While I was getting my blood drawn for the original Lyme test, the nurse hematomaed my arm, and of course the hematoma didn't heal. Because of the Lyme disease. We know loves to attack injury, loves damaged tissue. So I spent all my focus on thinking that the nurse had hit an artery and permanently damaged my arm. I got an MRI on the arm. I went to see surgeons. The whole time the Lyme disease growing inside of me and my indigestion increasing. Till it got to the point where I had to go to the hospital for chest pains because I was so backed up. I didn't know what it was. Too stupid to know what it was. Too stupid to think that I still had Lyme disease. So, was I too stupid to think? 2 days later, I was back in the ER. I couldn't go to the bathroom. Doctor said something about an enema, but they would rather give me antibiotics and prescribe diverticulitis. I took the Cipro and a Flagyl for a week straight without going to the bathroom. Flared up my colon so bad that I could barely walk. Went to the doctor. He told me to keep taking the Cipro. Went back and it was so bad. I was having such herks. No way to detox. I started getting pain in the back of my neck. Couldn't sleep. I was twitching. Leg was twitching. And that's when the spasm started that brought it all down. Spasm. I thought it was my sphincter. It was my puborectalis began to spasm. I knew something was very wrong. Got an enema at the hospital finally. Thought that the spasm was gone, but it came back. And that haunted me. I went back to the hospital again for 3 or 4 days. They thought I was crazy. I thought I was dying when I went there and freaked out. This is all a synopsis. Back, stayed with my mom. Nobody knew what it was. I thought it was from the Cipro. My mom kept saying Lyme disease. I finally realized it was Lyme disease. Right before I got a sigmoidoscopy, which I figured I'd do anyways, to see if something else was wrong. Sigmoidoscopy, they took biopsies. And these biopsies, of course, lingered and stung like hell every night, and I freaked out. As my other videos will show I was over-analyzing. Did not just find a good Lyme doctor and roll with them. I saw one YouTube video about a place called Envita in Scottsdale, Arizona. I flew out there the next day, and I had been talking to this lady, Marie, from Florida, who was being as helpful as she could, telling her whatever she did, telling me whatever she did that worked for her. I did this, so many different crazy things I'd never heard of for Lyme disease. It was a bizarre and yet intriguing world, so I talked to her all the time. Talked to her and talked to her and talked to her. Went out to Scottsdale, went to Envita, started jockeying, decided to get this port put in at Envita because they recommended it for their treatment. I guess I didn't think twice about putting plastic inside of my chest. Started getting treatment there, but then jockeyed back to another doctor to get IV. Just being a cowboy, not going through their whole protocol. Stopped going to them for a while. When they called me back, they asked me why it stopped. I told them, I had been getting IV somewhere else. They said, you're not supposed to be using your port somewhere else. I said, well, just give me the ozone, the stripping, and the IV antibiotics. And the doctor said, sure, you can do whatever you want. I went in there to get the ozone a few times, which was helpful. Then I went in there to get the ozone, the stripping, and the IV antibiotics, which surely was going to do some killing. Right before they gave me the IV antibiotics, they called me and they said, well, we need you to do the whole treatment. $16,000. I went to my hotel room and I thought about it, and I had been running out of money. I applied for a medical loan. I said, sure, I guess I'll do it. But when I got there, I balked a little and I stymied and I said, what about this? Argued a little bit on the components, and I guess the girl there didn't really like that. And I said, I'll just do the ozone. I'll just do the ozone. So they gave me a few ozones, and then one day they came in and they said, we heard that you had been using your port somewhere else, and we don't want you here anymore. And I think that's the first time they ever requested that someone leave Envita. But that was a blessing, actually. Or was it? Because anything that happened is probably not a blessing, considering where I am now. So I left dejected, the prescription to remove my port. Dejected, back to my extended stay, asking another doctor I've been seeing for help, and she came through and hooked me up with Steve, who I only knew for 10 days, but was the best friend you could ever have. Let me stay in his house, in his room, where he had taken care of his mother who had died months ago. Complete stranger, free rent, free transportation, because of what the doctor had done for him. And we stayed there 10 days. Took too much MMS. Didn't realize that's what it was, and got oxidative reaction on my skin and bailed for Florida to see Marie, because I was a boy. I proceeded to do intramuscular ozone into my left buttocks, injured the tissue because of the positioning. I came home here to a hole. I had everything in Scottsdale with Steve, 5 minutes away from a colonic. And the doctor from everything. And now I can never go back. I betrayed the great relationship we could have had. And this is how you do ozonated saline. I hope this kills me. People don't want to be touching our mustache. Flush it. Okay, I'm doing this all wrong.
was horrible.